Hi! Today in your art studio, we're going to talk about using adhesives in the art studio properly. Specifically, various types of tape. We'll also talk a little bit more about different types of glue and how to use them most effectively with as little waste as possible. Have fun! Okay, first we will review different kinds of tape. The most common type of tape I see in our studio and many others is regular masking tape. Regular meaning this beige tan color. This nice display here is a dispenser of decorative masking tape. I think in my experience it's about as sticky as this tape, maybe slightly less sticky. You can use it for decoration, but please do not waste it. With masking tape, finding the end is pretty easy. This is brand new, so let me show. Okay, if you find masking tape like this, searching for the end is simple and pretty obvious. You can see where the last piece has been broken off. Scratch gently, and you'll get it to start for you. When using it to rip a piece off, you can also cut. I prefer ripping, it's faster. You want to use your two pincher fingers here, your other two pincher fingers as well. Put them right next to each other, and then tear where you want it to rip. This tape is made of paper and glue, so it pretty easily rips. Now, using masking tape, often the error people make is that they don't push down hard enough. They'll just stick it on there and be like, okay, it's taped. Yes, maybe for the time being. However, this will start to peel up over time because it is not properly adhered. The key to making tape actually stay is burnishing. You can burnish, and that just means push down hard with some force and really rub to activate the adhesive. I most frequently do that with my thumb, although you can also use a tool, for example, a Sharpie. You could use the handle of a pair of scissors. Basically, you're just finding something to really push that down so that it will adhere and not roll up later on. You can also create interesting bends with this. If you were to do that, then you'd add another piece of tape on this side here. Okay, onto our decorative tapes. Pull the amount you need, press it against this jagged edge plastic part here to tear it, and then move your fingers closer to it and tear down. I tear from the side. I can start with one side. So from here, I'm starting at one side, pushing down firmly, and then it will cut. When in doubt, grab a pair of scissors. Still want to stick it on there so the next person can get it. And cut. And then with the decorative tapes, often people use them to add color and interest to an artwork. I want to say that these are not for taping on, putting paint in between, and then peeling off and throwing away. They are too expensive for that use, in my opinion, so we don't do that here in our art studio. However, we do remember to burnish. You can actually see with this tape that there's a slight color change when it is properly adhered. And then at the edge, something like that, I would fold back or cut off, depending on what my end goal would be for this. Okay, on to the next. Clear packing tape. Also very common to find and use by artists. The trick with this is that it is hard to find the beginning. So if the last person left it without an obvious start spot, it's hard to find. Here it's a little bit crumply, so I can easily find it. However, I want to remind everyone to always leave a little bit of a fold at the edge, just a tiny bit, so we don't waste, but so that there's always an easy to find edge that cannot fold all the way down. It cannot re-stick to the roll. And then when using the clear tape, I recommend if you're going to cut a piece off and then use it more, stick it to your work surface. I often just stick it down to the table like that and cut the amount I need. You'll use it for whatever it is you're using it for. You also want to burnish to make sure that it sticks well. Okay. Then, when you lift the tape back up to put it away, make sure that at the end you have a corner folded down so that the next person doesn't have to struggle to find the end. Next we have some decorative duct tapes. Many companies make these now. They are easy to find the end of because usually there's a bit of white that shows at the end. With these tapes, they're very sticky, which is great, comes in handy. You can use your pinchers again. This tape is tearable, even though it is plastic. And you can tear a very straight line because it tears along the strings that are inside there, just like fabric would do. And just like with any tape, you want to burnish in order for it to stay on. Otherwise, it will just peel up in the next, sometimes couple of hours if it's really humid, but definitely in the next couple of days if you don't bother with the burnishing. And again, you can just use your fingers, but you have to firmly adhere every single piece of tape that you use. And this is just another variety of that. All right, on to glue. So we mostly use Elmer's Glue All. It's pretty strong, it works for most things. So I have added this dispenser. It's just a laundry detergent dispenser, but it works nicely for dispensing glue. We have brushes for it. These brushes that come with watercolor sets that are very cheap and the bristles fall out, that we don't use for painting, they're great for glue. So we take a little cup, dispense the glue in, however much you think you need. And these cups have covers, so extra can be used for the next class or next person. Okay. And then we would just cover when not in use. When using the glue in this way, you can grab a brush and just paint it on where we need it to be. So let's see. Say if I were attaching this piece here, I would paint the glue on thinly because it dries much quicker and stays stickier, I find, if you use it very thinly. So you can see that it's wet but not white. So the cardboard or paper should just look damp. And then adhere that cardboard. Hold it in place while the glue dries. And then that will be all set. And finally, Aleene's Tacky Glue. This glue is great. It's stronger than Elmer's and it tends to stay faster. Like you can let go sooner when using this. It takes a while to come down to the end. And then when it does, you can dispense it this way, or you can use a paintbrush. I would suggest sort of a combination of both like I'm doing here. Okay, spread it nice and thin. This will still appear white. And then adhere your cardboard. Glue brushes do not have to be washed. Don't even waste your time. Just put them back and use it again the next time. All right, thanks for watching.